Okay, so what I'm going to go over right now is how to write the essay if you're still stuck, right? So you should have created a document, an MLA document, and you want to rename the file, here up top. You're going to rename the file. If you go to the top, you put your period number. So if you're in period 4, you put 04 space, you put your last name obviously, and then your first name. And that's how you're going to name your file. And then you could just title it essay if you want, right? And I know what the assignment is. Then I just changed all the headings in the MLA. It said Dawson, I think when you got it. I put your name, you put my name here, world history, period number, today's date. And then to begin to write. So take a look at what I did, right? So I have here a screenshot of my graphic organizer. And I take what you see up here of my ideas, right? First, explain what the Industrial Revolution was. So I wrote a sentence. The Industrial Revolution was a time when machines started to replace people in factories, and there were many rapid advances in technology. And I got that from my notes. So you can see in my notes here where I get this. Then the next bullets are about developing factories, new sources of energy. I asked you to give me basic info. How did this happen? Where did it happen? When did it begin? And it says to give me about 3 sentences. So look at my next 3 sentences. Right? In this era, new sources of energy such as coal and steam power became very important, and it helped develop large factories. These factories can produce more goods and be more efficient than older ways of making goods. All of this began in the 1700s in Great Britain. So I gave you some basic background, and you can write more. You can write yours better than this. I'm just giving you a very basic example of how I take what I wrote in my notes and put it into my paragraph. And then my thesis. Remember, everything in blue is the same paragraph. So remember, I was going to talk about child labor with document D, pollution with document A, and dangerous jobs with picture E. And I told you to use one of my 2 sentence starters, and you all did this in class. So now I'm going to take based on the gallery walk, and I'm going to have my sentence, right? Based on the gallery walk, the Industrial Revolution was more negative than it was positive because it led to child labor, more air and water pollution, and the jobs were dangerous for workers. Then I'm going to start my body paragraph. And now I'm going to take my second section of the graphic organizer, which is the stuff in green, and I'm going to take my first idea, and I'm going to start my paragraph with a topic sentence that just tells you what I'm going to write about, right? I'm going to start with my first reason about why the Industrial Revolution was negative, and I'm going to use the picture of the engraving of the kids in the mine. So one of the reasons that industrialization was negative was because it led to child labor. So just a sentence. Now I'm going to explain everything I wrote here, right? The engraving. So I take my notes and I just look at how I turn them into sentences. In the engraving showing boys working in a mine, pushing coal, we can see the horrible conditions that children had to face. The picture shows a small crowded space and dirty air in the mine that children have to breathe. This shows that the coal mines made industrialization negative because it created dangerous jobs with bad conditions, right? So I've taken these things and I've put them together into the sentence. And then I'm going to go on to my next piece of art. Another negative effect that was that it created more air and water pollution. And then I would take my graphic organizers, my second idea, and I would start using that, right? Which would be like document A. And I would talk about the train with the pollution or something. It would be part of the same paragraph. So this paragraph is going to be about 10 to 14 sentences long. So that's how you start your essay, and that's how you take your graphic organizer and you transfer it over. And that's what you're going to work on today. And if you have this graphic organizer done, this should take you about 30 minutes, and you're going to be able to finish this. Okay, so hopefully you found this example helpful.